Hi guys from Montenegro. Today I have here a great guy with me, Igor Rybakov.
Hi.
Igor is the best entrepreneur in Russia as of today, entrepreneur of the year in Russia. Self-made billionaire, creator of TechnoNICOL. This is a multi-billion-dollar company in roofing materials, and also creator together with your wife, with Ekaterina Rybakova, creator of Rybakov Foundation, when you foster entrepreneurship in the world.
Yeah, right.
So, Igor, you are extremely accomplished entrepreneur. Very simple question. What decided about the success of TechnoNICOL? What is the success secret of the company? If you could say it in, in one formula, maybe you have a formula for that.
I think the main secret of our success is the complementary partnership with my partner Sergei. The main secret. Every time, everywhere, I find the complementary partnership to enforce each other, to empower each other. And it's a general way of to empowering yourself.
Okay.
To find your partnership which gives you, which allow you
to have more skills, like multiply somehow.
To do what you love to do. To do
Okay.
what you love to do, not to do what you have to do. And remember that your complement partners must be absolutely different, not like you.
Okay, so if you don't like somebody, it is a signal that
it's don't like, or it's a different guy. Maybe it's your complementary partner.
Okay.
But if it's the same like you,
don't do business with him. So if
remember, you will compete with him.
Okay. So another question. This one is from my readers, from my audience. Many experts in financials are, telling there is this global crisis, economic crisis approaching. How would you prepare for that crisis as entrepreneur and as an investor? What would be a good way to prepare?
We already had 3 crises in our business life. 3 huge crises. In 1998, Russia was default. In 2008, the world crisis. And 2014 was crisis in Russia because of the sanction from US. And now I understand what is now I understand what we do now. The productivity of the business is the main answer. Now the productivity in our company in the highest, in the top level of the world, and no one crisis. Okay, I don't say about something like a war.
Right, like
catastrophic. I say about the economical crisis. No one economical crisis can influence and destroy our growth. Every year,
so you say
every year, 10, 15% we grow. Crisis, not crisis, 10, 15%, because of the productivity of our company, because of the philosophy, lean production in our company, because of the people in our company. They play game. They doesn't work.
Okay.
They don't work. They really play game.
So
all.
the best way to prepare is to stay the best and to improve every day, right?
Yeah.
And then
train every day. The luckiness, it's interesting that who is the luckiest man in the world? Who is ready? Who is well trained? And the technical guy, the manager, is the well trained guy.
Okay.
That's the secret.
On my channel I talk a lot about doing the impossible, about achieving amazing things in life, in business, and you are one of the guys who accomplish many impossible things. But tell me, what did the notion of the impossible play in your business, and how do you approach it? How do you use that notion or that word, or the tension between possible, impossible, and so on? How do you think about that? I know it's a big topic, but maybe you can.
It's very big.
You could spend like hours talking about that.
Yes,
probably write a book about that, right?
I'm a physicist, and I know that the business life and the business life the same like physics. Physics is the experimental science. It's not the theoretical science. Mm-hmm. So every time I know that all the impossibles is what I feel impossible is possible, but I don't know. But because for me,
so
it's
you don't know how it is possible.
Yes,
it's not impossible. It's just you don't know how it is
absolutely.
possible.
And for me, it's much more important. Not what I know. For me, it's much more important what I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it's possible. And if I trust myself and I say myself, yes, I don't know how it's possible, in that moment, it's possible for me because I will start finding the way how it's possible. That's all.
Okay.
And the school where I was from the school where the adults they taught me that if you feel impossible something that you have to stop. Mm-hmm. Now my school I have a lot of students and mentee which surrounds me. I teach my students and I tell them, guys, you can't know everything, and if you don't know how it's possible, it doesn't mean that it's impossible.
Right.
Everything possible.
Okay. The other notion that is, I think, important in our fast-changing life or fast-changing world is the change. The notion or the change itself. How do you approach change? How do you what's your relationship to change, and how do you try, or how do you make your company change, adapt, and stuff like that?
Really, for me, it's a little strange because I'm not a good manager. Mm-hmm. So, how to manage, how to organize change management.
Right. I mean, in a multi-billion-dollar company, when you have thousands of employees, right?
My partners know how to do it. Sergei. Mm-hmm. He's an excellent manager. He's my complement partner. And every time in my companies, I find somebody who knows what I don't know. It's important. It's very important for me. I never learn that I don't want to learn. But there is some points. I call this like tipping points. Mm-hmm. When all what you know that blocks you from the quantum leap. Yes, from the quantum. How to say leap?
Quantum leap is the right.
Leap.
Yeah.
And this is the point where I have a very good practice. In that moment, I like the situation. It's my point. I like the tipping points. Tipping points everywhere in industries.
So
in
this is
the relationships of the
tipping
people.
point is the let's say the place in the time-space continuum when things can change, right?
Yes. Everything can change dramatically.
By just one
little bit, one word, mm-hmm. one side, one piece of something small, and everything can go to the different direction. I like this. This is my game.
Okay.
And I can.
So can you create tipping points, or can you take advantage of tipping points?
Both. Yeah. How to create tipping points, and how to use tipping points to put the system into what you want.
Okay.
In the direction what you want.
Okay. So you actually take advantage of, or you are the change agent, right? And then okay. So you don't see, because most people see change as something of of a danger, right? That they are afraid of change, and you are like looking for the change and finding these tipping points and then taking advantage of them.
I like changes because of my game.
Okay.
If there is no change in the company, in the world, I feel myself very bad.
Okay.
What is my job? I like this.
Okay. Last question from the general ones. What is the most valuable advice you have received in your life yourself? Like somebody gave it to you. What would you say? What would be the best advice you have gotten from somebody?
Don't spend your time. No, I say for myself. Yeah? Hey Igor, don't spend your time to see on your list what you don't have. Every time you have to look around through the list of your
What
you have.
Okay.
This is a
So the attitude of abundance, so to say.
yes, it's the accelerator of abundance. It gives you power. It gives me power. It's empowering me. It's like a self-empowering system. The most excellent self-empowering system.
Okay.
Yes, and when you write,
The next
when you
book?
make that technology, that process in your book, I think it's good for your followers. It's
To
very
read
good
about
because
that,
it's that practice, the maximum empowering practice. What I know,
Okay.
I use this. Maybe for you, it's
Probably.
probably it will be good for you.
Okay, great. The very last question. We had a small game on the channel. It's called Ask a Billionaire, where one of my, let's say, followers or from the audience, they were providing questions, and we just draw one question to ask you, and it will be included in the book. And this is a question by Adam Pro, and he asked, what changes in your business approach and strategies maybe did you do with the transition from a millionaire to at first from zero to a millionaire, and then what changes were there with the transition from a millionaire to a billionaire? Like in the approach and the strategies, maybe I know they are tons and hundreds, but maybe you can tell 1, 2, 3 most important changes that you made, because apparently you operate on different levels. When you start, then
In my view, is the border is under from the 0 up to 1 billion.
Okay.
And after 1 billion.
Okay, so let's do this.
Yes. Yes. And what kind of the approach before 1 billion? The figures about the million or several millions or 10 millions or 100 millions, it's the wrong way. You have to think not about the millions, millionaire, billion, no. You have to think how to create the most useful things for other people. How to create something for useful for somebody, not only for somebody, 1 people, 2 people, no, for millions of people. How to bring some add value for the society, for the planet. Think about this. If you think about to be in the Forbes list, to be a millionaire, to be a billionaire, you never will be there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is the change from zero.
Think
to
about how to bring something useful for
value
for others. This is the most important thing for the beginners, or for the millionaires, or for the multi-millions. Yes.
And
that's
then,
all. And then when you billionaire.
in case you are in a billionaire, when you listen to this,
if you do this,
then you get the further advice. Okay.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. What are the big differences beside the millionaires or multimillionaires with the
Billionaire.
compare the billionaires. The millionaires or multimillionaires, they think about how to achieve the next million.
Right.
Okay, doing something useful for community, but okay, his calculation is like a score on the football match.
Right, right.
What is the
So-
what is the value? They think about what is the score.
Yeah, what's the score?
And
So
the
money is the
billionaires
score,
and the
right.
billionaires, they stop doing about the score.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is it about for a billionaire?
they think about how to change the world. What does it mean? It means that how to create the next company or next project to build something useful for community, but the impact of that must be for all the planet. The plus minus the same like millionaires, but look,
A global.
it's global. The size of the changing or social changing, and plus minus all the billionaires, they start to be like social entrepreneurs.
Okay. So
That's I consider myself now.
It's not only about business.
It's not on. It's even much more about the social entrepreneurialism, social entrepreneurialism.
So social change.
Social changing. Because
Like
look,
changing of
it's-
the
look,
society and not
remember,
necessarily
remember,
just
it's easy.
being useful
When you
for
create
society.
something new in the society, in the communication of the people, you need to build new companies which support this new communication.
Yeah.
That is a business opportunity. That's why the most successful billionaires, they every time start to be like a philanthropes or social entrepreneurs because the general thinking about the world, how to create new communication in the society. These have the business ideas which can be like a global scale. That's why all of you, I'm sure that all of you will be the philanthropes or social entrepreneurs like me. Welcome.
Okay. Thanks, Igor, for your wisdom. Thanks, Igor, for being here. And see you guys from the beautiful Montenegro. That's it for today. Let's do something extraordinary today.
Yeah.